titles of our tiny books, and there are quite a bit of repeat night titles, so some of it will just be me updating the count for the number of copies. So let's start. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a heading for untitled. I'm just putting this in a spreadsheet. I was going to put it all centered, but I think only the title needs to be centered. Alright, so let's grab one. Oh. I have a distinct feeling I'm gonna need this. Sometimes the writing is very small. This one is titled Album, and I believe there is only one. This one is untitled. So that I will put there. I am going to make this centered. This is The Lord of the Rings, and I know that there are a lot of those. This one is untitled, so I will update my list. This one and some of these will have to be kind of guessed, but I think this says The Shepherd and the Lady. This one is, I was about to say untitled, but it's not untitled. It says I'm gonna have to make a pile of I don't know. And there's our I don't know pile. A lot of the letters kind of ran together on that one. I'll come back to those later. This one is Of Mice and Men. This is called Fairy Tales, and because I can read who it's by, I'll write it. By the brothers. That's not how you spell brothers. Grimm. And there are a couple of books that say fairy tales. This one is spelled F-A-I-R-Y. Whoops. are others. This is untitled. There are others that are spelled other ways. This one is untitled. This one is titled, but there is no way I could possibly know what that says. I'm gonna call this untitled because there's no way. At least with this one I might be able to make out the lettering, and there's just no way. So I'm adding it. Well, maybe it should be an I don't know thing. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm gonna have a I don't know section. And so far I have two I don't knows. This says poems and songs of fairyland. I think I like the way most of my keyboard sounds, but I know my space bar and a couple of these over here are not that great. Sorry. This one says seas and lands, and is an ampersand. And there's one. I think this is going into our I don't know pile. I can't tell. I think it's an I don't know, because there's a little spot at the very top that looks like it could be words. Perhaps it's design, but I don't think so. This one is untitled. This one is another Lord of the Rings. This one says something. It looks like it says Auntie Forest. So that's what I've decided. This says the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. It even has an author, but I don't really know if it's actually a book. There's a couple of things in here. For example, this one, I don't know if it's actually supposed to be a book or if they just took it. This says Ministry of Magic Identity Card. I didn't think that that was actually a book, but maybe it is. here. This book is titled Walt Disney and Live Action, and this one has an author, John G. West. It even has a little bit more written on it. I'm not going to write all of it, but I'm at least going to write the author, John G. West. And the top of the book says, the Disney Studios live action features of the 1950s and 1960s. That's an interesting selection of books. This one might be my favorite cover, and it is an untitled. So far we have 5 untitled. I'm going to go ahead and put this one on our list, but I'm actually going to put it towards the top. And I'm going to move some things around, because there are certain ones in here that will have a lot of copies. This one is called All the Young Dudes, and there are so many. In fact, I think a majority of the books are all, is it all of the young dudes or just all the young dudes? It is all the young dudes. And I don't even know if this is actually a book or not, but there are a lot of copies. A lot of copies. Oh, this says Charles Dickens, I think. Charles Dickens, workin', Doomby and Zoon. Something, Amsterdam. I'm going to just write it as I see it. I saw Charles Dickens, Doomby and Zoon. That sounds very weird. Doomby and Zoon. And after Charles Dickens, I saw workin'. And then I'm going to put a comma. And I saw Doomby, E-N-Z-O-O-N. And then I saw something about Amsterdam. Gess, G-E-S-S-L ampersand N colon Amsterdam. Don't know. That's what this book says, though. Alright, this one says The Curtain. And it is by Patrick Ward. And then I have Funny Feelings. And there's more written on it. See if I can make it out. When falling in love is the punchline. That's just a tag. The side says Sarah DeWitt. this is another fairy tales, but it's spelled F-A-E-R-Y. And this one is by that can't be right. Carol. I was reading it as Card, but it is Carol and Duffy. Let's see. We have The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. And does it say the, or is it just, yes, it does say the. The Scarlet. Is there 2 T's? There's 1 T. Letter by I'm gonna not spell anything right today. Nathaniel Hawthorne. This C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Last Battle. So in reality, it is entitled The Last Battle. I'm gonna put a hyphen and put The Chronicles of Narnia, another hyphen. C.S. Lewis. Let's see. What else? There is that weird one. The art of Therianthropy. And I think there are several of those. I feel I'm gonna call this one Untitled. I was debating but I can't make out any possibilities for words. Let's see. This one is also untitled. This one is not. And there's just no way for me to know. So that adds our I do not know to 4. Let's pick some ones we do know. This one is entitled Thinking Like a Data Scientist. Thinking like a data scientist. Let's see if we can see who it's by. We cannot see who it's by. It says it on there. Can't read it. Okay, this says album. The other one that says album just said album. this has a bunch of other words, and so I'm not really sure if it's the same book. This is album miniature number 9, 1, Saju, something, Paris. I'm going to make it its own title. Album miniature N9, so I'm assuming that means number 9, 1 SAJOU, and then Boulevard This doesn't make any sense, but I'm reading Boulevard Sebastopol 76. That's what I read. And then Paris. And there's one so far. This one says The Old Man and the Sea by Hemingway. And you know what? I'm going to actually add another column here entitled Author. And I'm only going to put it if it says the author on the front cover. Updating these. This is Ernest Hemingway is the author of The Old Man and the Sea. And the reason I do that is because there's a lot of books in here by Ernest Hemingway, and I want to see just how many there are. This is called The Voice at the Door. There's one, and it's by James Sulzer. Oh, this is Howl's Moving Castle. I very much like that movie. I have read the book, but sure I've read the book, but I don't recall it very well. I guess I've seen the movie too many times. Her name is on here, but it's almost impossible to read. So I cheated and I looked it up. This is another C.S. Lewis. And this one is called The Horse and the Boy. And is there anything else written here? Oh, it's another Chronicles of Narnia. I did not read these, but I think I watched the movies. Some of these are in other languages, so I will write and spell as best I can. And this looks like it says, and I'm going to pronounce it, Cori de Carta, and it's by Elisa something. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put a bunch of dots. And then Guerra. This is another jacket that I like. It's kind of her book cover. This is an untitled. We are at 8 untitled. Here is another All the Young Dudes. I know there have only been 2 so far, but believe me, we're getting to them. A lot of the tiny books that we did earlier are also All the Young Dudes. This just says John Keats. Is it John Keats, the author? That's all it says. That's all we're putting. Okay. This one. This says Japanese art, and as best I can make out, it doesn't. It looks like it says Sadakichi, and this is not correct, but it looks like it says Heart Maiden. I'm going to look some of these up later because I just want to know how accurate these things are. We have another All the Young Dudes. And this one's interesting because these people look like the Harry Potter characters. Like, that's Harry, Hermione, Ron, and Malfoy. So I don't know. This one has words. No way I'm gonna know what it says. It takes art, I don't know, up to 5. This one says, The Wicked Cometh. And there is I had to look it up. Yes, that's what it says. Laura Carl color. Carlin. Laura Carlin. I want to know who chose these books. There are a lot of words on this one. It says Beatrix Potter. Linda something. Linda L. Let's see. Beatrix Potter. Linda Lear. Lear. This is Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. Oh. Let's see. Let's take a break. You can see the completed list of titles here. I have a lot more footage of me typing everything up, so if you want to see more, let me know. And this is cheesy, I know, but I kind of like to think that we all had a hand in choosing the books for this wildly eclectic library. Which ones did you choose?